Hey guys, so none of you really know me, but my name is Nick or Nikki, it doesn't matter, whichever one, just not my full name, which I'm not gonna say, because I don't like it. But, I wanted to talk about gender identity today, and I know you might have seen a lot of trans people coming out, transgender people. And yes, I'm another one. I'm FTM, female to male trans gender. And yeah. So but gender identity is it's different than sexuality, it's different than whatever else you might think it is. It's just basically it's just what you identify as. Male, female, whatever. And so I identify as male. Obviously I just said I'm trans, FTM. And yeah, I'm just letting you guys know. And so gender identity is something that you just feel within. I'm not gonna say it starts at birth for everyone, but it definitely can. And me personally, I don't know if you know what gender dysphoria is, but it's kind of like, well, wishing you were the other sex and wishing you had those parts. And I've had that since I was very young, so I've kind of always had it. But my thing is I never really knew that I could identify as male without having surgery, without going on testosterone. I never knew that I could still identify as male. And it took until this spring for me to realize that when I actually met a trans woman who explained all this stuff to me. It all started with a letter. I can't go into detail about this, but I was in a residential treatment center for depression, anxiety, whatever, stuff like that. And I just met this trans woman, and it all started with a letter that I wrote to her, just explaining that, because I knew she was trans before that letter, and I just wrote that letter explaining, how, just me personally, how I feel really masculine, and that I like wearing men's clothing, I don't ever wear makeup, I don't wear dresses, I hate skirts, all that kind of stuff. And I just like, either masculine or gender neutral things is what I like personally. So I feel like a lot of things have become gender neutral now, but it's still, I still like either that or masculine things, so, but that's just me personally. And yeah, so I wrote this letter, and I confronted this woman about it, and she had, she just had to talk with me, and she said that, because I had no idea what these feelings were about, I didn't know anything about transgender at that point, and so she just explained to me, what it was, and, she said, oh, well, I really think you're questioning your, gender identity. And I said, yeah, that actually sounds pretty accurate. And so she went into detail about, you know, how you can do whatever, you know, since I am female to male, I can choose to either just stay pre-T, pre-op, everything, or I can decide to do those things. And so I've learned that, because before, whenever I heard transgender, I've thought that you either had to go on hormones or get the surgery. Like, I just thought there was no other option. I just thought if you transgender, you had to do that. And I learned now you don't. But, you know, I'm now thinking about possibly, not guaranteeing, but possibly starting hormones. And I think it would be a big transition, but it's what I'm comfortable with, because I'm a guy, and I don't think that having a feminine voice is suiting for me. So I just might go on testosterone, but that won't happen for a while because I'm currently, you know, unemployed and I can't pay for that. But those are personal issues. And yeah. So, but back to gender identity. It's whoever you identify as. If you were born female, but you feel like a male, then you can identify as male, like, no matter what. And I personally go by he and him pronouns, because that's just what I want. But just because you are transgender doesn't mean you have to change your pronouns. You can still feel like a male and still be called she and her. I mean, to me, like, I personally wouldn't do that. Just because, I mean, I personally wouldn't feel comfortable with that, you know. I'm all guy, you know, he, him, that's what I prefer. And yes, I do use the men's restroom. That's what I feel comfortable with, but just because you're trans doesn't mean you have to use, you know, whatever bathroom you don't feel comfortable with. So, yeah, and then the same goes for the opposite. If you were born male, but you feel like a female, then you can identify as that and all the things I just said. So yeah. Sorry I'm shaky. I get social anxiety. I'm awkward. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to try and help people. I'm not sure if I did a good job or not, but just try to explain some things. I know definitely not a lot, well, I shouldn't say not a lot, but definitely some people won't understand this about being transgender, and that's fine. You don't have to understand it, but yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say, but